Hey everyone, how you going today? It's Max again, and we're gonna go over Helku, as I have dubbed it, or the new SS4 Son Goku Yellow Leader. We're just gonna go over a initial deck list I've made, and just the archetype in general and the cards given for the archetype. So let's just get right into it. So let's look at the leader. So on the Unawakened side, it's a pretty basic leader. So when it attacks, it draws a card. Then it's got two Awaken conditions. So the first one is if you have two or more energy when a yellow battle card is revealed from the top of your deck, placed in the drop area, and then played by that card's skill, you get to untap one energy, then add cards from your. So you get to draw one, untap one energy, and add cards from your life to your hand until you have 5 life left. Or if you've got 4 or less, you can just draw 2 and flip your leader over. Most of the time, you will be using that first auto to awaken. But let's look at the backside now. When this card attacks, you get to draw 2 cards. Then you choose one card in your hand, place it on top of your deck, and your leader gets 5k for the battle. It's got to activate main, add up to one Android 18 Defender of the Heroes from your deck to your hand, shuffle your deck, then choose one card in your hand and place it on top of your deck, negate this skill for the game. So unfortunately you don't go plus, but you still get a search your deck for Unison, which we'll go over in a sec, and then you get to put a card on top of your deck. As you'll notice, there's a lot of synergy with knowing what the top card of your deck is, so that's pretty cool. And then the activate main once per turn, so Spirit Boost 1, which means you have to remove a marker from your Unison, reveal the top card of your deck, and place it in your drop area. So normally that's not too good, but we'll go over it later and why it's kind of important. But next, let's just look at the Unison. Quick sidebar, this Unison is beautiful. I really like the way they're doing SPRs this set. But let's just go over the Unison. So auto once per turn, when you remove a marker using Spirit Boost, choose one of your opponent's battle cards, switch it to rest. So it's quite nice. There's a lot of Spirit Boosting in this deck, so having that effect is quite nice. So probably should have said this to start off with. It's a 1-cost Unison with 4k, so you're never going to really be swinging with it unless you're swinging to like your opponent's Android 18. But the fact it's a 1-cost Unison is kind of nice, so you can get it out really cheaply. But the fact it's also a +2 means you can utilize that Spirit Boost quite easily. And if your opponent wants to remove this Unison, they will be able to remove it very easily. So keep an eye on that. It's going to be very rare you'll use the -2, and we're just going to consistently use that +2. So a +2 is you look at the top 3 cards from your deck and place them on top of your deck in any order. There is a lot of, as I keep saying, there's a lot of synergy with knowing what that top card of your deck is, and being able to discard it and then play it. We'll go over which cards do that in a second. But then the second activate main, which is -2, is draw 3, then choose 2 cards in your hand and place on top of your deck in any order. So you get to see more cards in your hand, and then you choose which cards you don't want. Unfortunately, because they remain at the top of the deck, you will eventually have to filter through them somehow. But there's a lot of ways to get through that. If we look at the battle cards, first of all, we'll look at the boss monster of the deck, just because I want to show this off first, because it's really cool. I'm just going to shrink my camera real quick so you can see the name. So Son Goku with Return of the Dragon Fist. I really like the design of this card. It's beautiful. No SPR for it, which was a bit unfortunate, but it's a beautiful SR anyway, so I'm more than happy just to have this one. But it's Deflect Double Strike. When this is played, you choose 2 of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode and carry them. Yellow never had too much removal, so having this is really cool. The Activate main is also quite nice. You can only play this if you have 4 or more energy, but if you have 4 or more energy and a yellow Unison in play, play this card from your hand. So for 3 energy, you're getting a 25k double strike. And then the activate main 1 per turn is also really nice. So it's a Spirit Boost 2. This synergizes really well with the Unison, because if you have a Unison in play, you can use the activate main. And then because our Unison has a +2, you can always guarantee you've got that Spirit Boost 2 live if you play this card on the same turn. But anyway, Spirit Boost 2, if your leader card is mono yellow, this card gains dual attack for the turn, and your opponent can't activate skills on battle cards with an original energy cost of 7 or less from any area when this card's in battle, which means they can't super combo in response to this, which is insane. They can't negate it with battle cards, so no Topo, no Mecha Freezer or Post, no Heroic Prospects, no Vegeta Rage Rumbles, no Gohan's Baby Minions, no Kai negate, no battle card negates in response to this, because at least unless they put out a Q&A. The way it's currently worded is as soon as you turn the card sideways to declare the attack, the card is considered in battle, so they can't activate that negate. So yeah, very good. Let's go over some of the other battle cards. So we got Trunks the Brawler. This was one of the first cards revealed alongside the leader. I'm just gonna make my camera a little bit bigger while we do this. But this was one of the cards that was first revealed alongside the leader, and it's got this first auto. When this card is revealed from the top of your deck and placed in the drop area, you may play this card from your drop. Really good. There's a lot of cards with this effect, but that you got to play them from the drop if they revealed from the top of your deck and then put in the discard. So it's quite nice. Very nice. Note, it does say revealed, which means you can't just kind of have that burst, or like that Vegeks style where you just like burst them all and play them. They do have to be revealed, which means only skills that cards like this deck have can play it. But then it's got a second order. When this is played, you draw one and choose one card from your hand, place it at the top of your deck. Bit more cycling to play more stuff. Then the activate main once per turn is a spirit boost. If your leader is a yellow Son Goku GT, you reveal the top card of your deck and place it in the drop area, which is quite nice. So it just keeps playing cards like this, which is honestly really nice. And then we've got this SS4 Son Goku the Brawler, which is kind of like your mini boss monster, so your beater, I would say, that just pressures your opponent's unisons, opponent's leader. It's quite nice. So it costs 1, and it's when it's revealed from the top of your deck and discarded, placed in the drop. You can play it from the drop for 1. It's a 20k double strike with deflect. I love that a lot of these cards have deflect. Deflect is a very nice keyword skill. It just means that you get on-play orders when cards have deflect, and I really like getting on-play orders with stuff like this, where it's not too impactful, but it does also really help. When this card is played, you choose one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode, KO it, which is quite nice. There's not too many ways to reveal and play on your opponent's turn. There is one that we've got that came out with the set, which is quite nice. But besides that, most of the time you're just going to be doing most of this on your turn. We'll move on though. So we've got a lot of blockers that this deck gave us. So the first one is Self-Restraint SS Son Goku. So if your leader is yellow, when this card is revealed from the top of your deck and placed in the drop area, you may play it. It costs 1. And then when this card is played, you draw one, choose one card you hand, put on top of your deck. So a little bit of cycling, even if you're in a bit of a sticky situation. Then you choose one of your opponent's battle cards and switch it to rest. So being able to play this on your opponent's turn, and as I said, there's only really one way we can play these on your opponent's turn, but being able to do it is just really nice and really impactful. Next we've got Pan the Brawler. So it's a blocker, and it's got auto limit 1, which means you can only activate this auto once across all copies of this card per turn. Now, if your leader is a yellow Son Goku GT and your opponent has 2 or more energies, when this card is revealed from the top of your deck and placed in your drop, you play it, and then you give your leader crit for the turn. So it's quite nice. Gives you a little bit more pressure with your leader swings. 20k crit is pretty nasty, but the fact it's the limit 1, it's kind of annoying because it's no longer just 100% better than the other card. We got the Son Gohan the Brawler, but it's still pretty nice. Next is the Son Gohan the Brawler, which is just a blocker that gets played. It doesn't have a limit, but it's still nice. Moving on, so we've got, how do we reveal top cards of your deck? Well, first of all, we have Vegeta the Brawler, which is our only way to play cards on the opponent's turn. Now, it's a counterattack when you negate the attack and you play this card. No, it's really nice that it plays the card, because worst comes to worst is 5 extra K combo power, which essentially means you have 1 card in hand. When I was previously making videos on the Vampire Elite channel, we made an in-depth video about card advantage and that. But if you guys want to hear me talk about it here, I'm happy to make another video on card advantage because it's a really important topic in the Dragon Ball card game. But anyway, Vegeta the Brawler, if your leader is a yellow Son Goku GT, when this card is played, you reveal the top card of your deck and place it in the drop. While this Vegeta is on the field, it essentially does nothing. It's just that on-play order, which is beautiful. It allows you to play stuff on your opponent's turn, so you can play the Goku blocker, rest one of their battle cards, and then you have a blocker. So this Vegeta and 2 energies essentially just stop 3 attacks, which is really nice. Really nice to be able to do. Next, we've got A Trip to Hell, which is a really nice card. So it costs 0, and it's got 2 activate mains. The first one, if you pay 1, and your leader is the Yellow Son Goku GT. Ours is, you go draw 2, then choose one card in your hand, place it on top of your deck, then reveal the top card of your deck and place it in your drop area. It's quite nice. This is the card you essentially want to awaken with, because you get a draw, like you're using this card, and then you place a card on top of your deck, but you still get 2 cards back in hand, so you go even on cards, and you get to awaken, and you get a battle card on the field for an extra energy. It's really nice play. Then it's got to activate main limit 1. If your leader is Yellow Son Goku GT, and you have 3 or more energy, reveal the top card of your deck and place it in your drop. So if you're just trying to get another body on the field, you can do this for free and still get it on the field, which is really nice. Next we've got SS Son Goten the Brawler. This card's a bit iffy. It has a nice on-play auto where it's your searcher for the deck, so you get to look at the top 5 cards, add a yellow Saiyan card with the energy cost of 4 or less, or a yellow Unison with a specified cost of 1, and add them to your hand. This is really nice, especially if you want to go for like a more mono-yellow build. The build I'm going to show you later is blue-yellow, quick spoilers. But then it's also got the activate main, where if your leader is a Yellow Son Goten with 10k power, which means it's on the unawakened side, and you discard this card from your hand, reveal the top card of your deck, and place it in your drop. So it's also another way to awaken for 0 energies. So you got to take your pick which one you use. It's also 5k combo power in comparison to a Trip to Hell, which you can't combo with. But now let's just get on to the deck list that I've got, that I've made. Note that it is a 54 card deck list. That is because I have not played with the deck whatsoever. This is all just me theory crafting, just trying to think of how this deck would play in a meta relevant situation. This is a blue-yellow version of the deck. I think that it can also be built mono-yellow. I've just really been liking how blue-yellow works recently. A lot of the decks I've been playing just for casual and fun play at locals have been blue-yellow. So I just thought I'd keep that trend going and throw up a blue-yellow list here. Also, not to mention the fact that I've just started the multicolor series. So let's just... blue-yellow just works. So first of all, we've got Son Goku Dragon Fist. We've got 2 of this guy. Talked about him before. And we've got 4 Unisons and 3 Son Goku the Brawlers. Just really, really nice cards. I talked about them before. Can't have to have 4 of these. Having 4 of the Son Goku the Brawler would be nice because it's not unique. But I was trying to squeeze a lot of things into the build, which is why I couldn't go too hard on too many of these cards. The Son Goku Return of Dragon Fist, I don't think you would ever run your boss monster at less than 2 of. But because you can't play it till turn 4, I think you don't need more than 2. So I think 2 is a perfect number. But yeah, you could up this Goku to 4. Definitely up it to 4 if you're playing a mono-yellow version. However, as I said, I want to put blue-yellow in there, so it's a bit tight on space. Next, we have 3 of the blocker Gokus and 2 of the blocker Pans. I don't have any of the blocker Gohans, as I don't think it's really impactful enough. However, once again, needed space for the blue-yellow stuff, so if you're playing a mono-yellow version, you can sure well add them in. Next, we have 2 of the Vegetas. I really like the idea of being able to play the blocker Goku on my opponent's turn. Really like the concept of that. A Trip to Hell's kind of like this deck's Unite Assemble. Definitely doesn't have the same impact, but it's still really good. Definitely think it's a 4 of inclusion, as is also your Awaken condition. And Basil Fatal Rampage, we've got that too because it's just a really good generic yellow card. And the way you kind of build yellow decks nowadays is quite generically, because there's a lot of good generic cards. There's not too many amazing archetype specific cards in yellow. So that's why we've got these. Then on to our extra cards, we've got 2 Vegeta's Final Flash. You can't really play yellow without this card. Being able to negate one of your opponent's skills, one of your opponent's battle card skills, ignoring barrier, is just really, really powerful. Would never run less than 2 of this in a yellow deck. Power of Super Saiyans, normally this is a 4 in the deck. I was really struggling for room. One can argue that having this at 4 and having this as 3 doesn't make any difference whatsoever to a deck because it just draws a card for free when you play it, which is very true. However, you can get stuck with like 2 of these in your hand at one turn and you're like, I wish you didn't have the second one. So that's why we've only got 3 in there for the moment, because we just don't have the deck space for more than 3. And then the 2 Flying Nimbus, it is just a great yellow negate. And because yellow has a pressure as the master, a lot of the times that they will swing with their leader first, which means Flying Nimbus gets that little bit of extra power in terms of what it does, which is really nice. Moving on, we have 2 Mecha Freezer Posts. As you saw, we are running a lot of extra cards. We got 4 A Trip to Hells. We got 3 Power Super Saiyans, 2 Nimbus, 2 Vegeta's Final Flash. So we can actually run Mecha Frieza Robotic Riposte in this deck, which is really nice. Quite a lot of the time, it can be live turn 2. Won't always be live turn 2, but it can be live turn 2. Most likely, it will be live by turn 3. Really nice card. Being able to play it outside of deck of Mecha Frieza is really good, especially because Mecha Frieza is about to be banned. Let's be real. Probably going to be banned. Then Great Ape Raiders Warcry. As I said, generic yellow cards, just got to include them. Especially Raiders Warcry and Bergamo, Ferocious Roar. They're really good in Aegis builds because they cost 2 energy, which synergizes perfectly with Aegis as a mechanic in whole. So these are just great cards to have. Moving on, we have 3 Senzu Beans. This is the start of the blue-yellow package. If you're running blue-yellow and you're actually charging blue-yellow, it is quite hard to not run Senzu Bean, and Senzu Bean is one of the best reasons to run blue-yellow. Another card I'll talk about later is the other reason that we have blue-yellow energies. If you're not running, if you don't want to run Senzu Beans, I think Senzu Beans are great in this deck because there's a lot of one-cost cards. But if you don't want to run Senzu Beans, and you still want to run Aegis, you definitely can. I would still consider running the Krillins and just this Krillin Zamasu split, but you're able to cut about 6 cards, which takes you to 48, which means you got a bit more wiggle room if you just cut the Senzu Beans and the other blue-yellow card I'm about to show you. But yeah, Krillin is the best yellow super combo. We're not ever actually planning to charge Senzu Bean, which is our only mono blue card, so Krillin's always live, same with Vegeta's Final Flash. Krillin, when you use it, draw 2, bottom deck 1. This deck just cycles through lots of cards amazingly, so having this is just great. Zamasu, just having the threat of Zamasu is really important, and we are running the Arrival Bojack, so just having another Arrival target is great. Next we have our Aegis cards. We've got 4 Hit Rapid Movement, 4 Final Rush Bojack, and only 3 Zamasu the Eliminator. Didn't have room for the 4th, also don't know 100% sure if you need the 4th. Being able to charge 1 multicolor with Zamasu is perfect throughout the game, and then you have 2 to use as counterplays. And I honestly think this as a 2-of counterplay is really good, and then you just need to charge one of the other ones. However, if you can find room for 4, I definitely think it's worth a 4th spot, same with Senzu Bean. Hit Rapid Movement, if you have a blue-yellow multicolor card in your energy, you can combo with it for free. Violent Rush Bojack is much of the same. It's a blue-yellow card with Aegis. Best Aegis card because it draws your card when you activate Aegis. It also has Barrier. It's been doing quite well recently. Mecha builds. Gotenks builds, it's really good. Zamasu the Eliminator is an amazing card. It's our first counterplay that actually properly hits Unisons. It doesn't just rest them and actually bounces them back to hand. Being able to get Unison skills is also like a cool idea for that first turn. However, we don't have amazing answers to it. Zamasu Eliminator also plays itself, draws a card, and rests one of your opponent's battle cards, which just gives it extra playability. Which means if your opponent's playing like a boss monster with Deflect, for example, there's the Goku that we showed before. You can counterplay with Zamasu the Eliminator. It won't get hit by it, but you'll still be able to switch it to rest and draw a card. So it's really, really good counterplay. And then finally, we have our secret rare, which is Supreme Kai of Time, Space Time Umbrella. This is the best secret rare in the game, and I think it's this or Sin are the only secret rares you can run in blue-yellow decks, because it's pretty rough running Cell Xeno and blue-yellow. However, this does spam the field relatively easily with all the cards that you're playing from revealing top card of your deck. So I could be wrong, and Cell Xeno may be the play. I don't think Sin is the play, because Sin is generally a better play if you don't have a great boss monster. However, we do have a great monster in the boss monster in the Son Goku, and to be honest, getting to 12 isn't actually that hard in the deck. So if we go back to this page, you only need these 2. This is so you play your boss monster with Deflect, and then you play if you have this guy from a previous turn, or if you have a Raiders Warcry for a previous turn, or if you had one of these blockers and a Basil or one of these Vegetas, you're in a really good spot. No, I don't run any of, so some of the notable cards I'm not running, let's get back to it. I'm not running this Gohan. I don't think this Gohan is too good. It is just a free play blocker. However, it's also just free play 5k combo power, which is decent. It's really good. Having a free 5k combo power is good, but I'm not sure if it's worth the Spirit Boost. So removing a marker from your Unison, which is what you have to do a lot of the time to play the top card of your deck. I'm also not running this Trunks the Brawler. While I do think Trunks the Brawler is a really nice card, I'm not sure how how much we need that extra option to Spirit Boost again to reveal the top card of your deck. These are all things that you're going to work out once we actually get the cards and start playing it. And the other one I'm not running is this Sun Goten, because I just don't have the room, and a Trip to Hell is a way better to awaken than this Sun Goku. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed my video on Hellku, as I've liked to dubbed it. This has gone for about 20 minutes, so I'll wrap it up nice and shortly. I hope you guys enjoy. If you want to see me cover any of the other archetypes, feel free to let me know down below. I'm away at the snow for a while, but I will, however, still try to get a couple of videos out. I'll hopefully try and make 1 or 2 in advance that I can just leave there and post afterwards. But thanks everyone for watching. I'm going to try to do a Super 17 and then get a couple more of these multicolored videos out there. The multicolored ones may remain at like 1 a week or something like that for a while, until they start to gain a bit more traction, because the first one didn't have the best response, but that's all good. We'll keep powering through it. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment down below. I love to hear everyone's opinions, as I'm just trying to grow as a content creator and make you guys enjoy the game a bit more, and I hope you enjoy watching me. That's all I can ask. Anyway, have a good one, guys.